The sun had already set over Los Angeles, and a cool breeze swept across the parking lot of St. Mary's Hospital. The fluorescent lights above the emergency entrance flickered weakly, casting long shadows across the pavement. Amid the hum of traffic and the distant wail of sirens, a small figure stood trembling near the hospital doors. A little girl, no more than 7 years old, clutching a tattered teddy bear against her chest. Her cheeks were streaked with tears, and her small voice broke the quiet night. "Those men won't let my mommy in the hospital," she cried. Her words echoed faintly against the concrete walls, filled with desperation that only a child in fear could feel. A few people glanced her way but quickly looked away, not wanting to get involved. The hospital security guards near the entrance ignored her pleas. They had turned her mother away, claiming she didn't have proper identification and had been causing a disturbance. The woman had tried to explain that she was in pain, but her words fell on deaf ears. Now, the child stood alone, helpless and terrified. Then, in the distance, came the low, rumbling sound of motorcycle engines, deep, powerful, and unmissable. The sound grew louder until a group of large, leather-clad bikers rolled into the parking lot. Their jackets bore the unmistakable insignia of the Hells Angels, and their chrome bikes gleamed under the streetlights. People nearby tensed, stepping back with uncertainty. Whispers rippled through the small crowd. "Oh no, the Hells Angels?" someone muttered nervously. But the bikers paid no mind to the onlookers. They parked their motorcycles in a line, engines growling to silence one by one. At the front of the group was a tall man with a weathered face, a trimmed beard, and eyes that had seen far too much of life. His name was Ryder Coleman, a longtime member of the Hells Angels, who carried both strength and compassion beneath his tough exterior. Ryder removed his helmet and looked around, until his gaze landed on the little girl crying by the hospital door. Her tiny frame shaking in the cold, her sobs muffled against the worn fabric of her teddy bear, it struck something deep inside him. Without a word, he handed his helmet to another biker and walked toward her. Kneeling down so he could meet her eyes, Ryder spoke softly, his deep voice surprisingly gentle. "Hey there, sweetheart. What's wrong?" The girl sniffled, trying to stop crying, but the words tumbled out between sobs. "They won't let my mommy in. She's hurt. She's bleeding. They said she's not allowed." Her little voice cracked with every word. Ryder's brow furrowed as he looked toward the security guard standing at the door, arms crossed. His expression shifted, anger not of violence but of fierce protectiveness. He placed a hand on the girl's shoulder and said quietly, "Don't you worry. We'll take care of it." Standing tall, Ryder adjusted his black leather jacket, his boots crunching on the gravel as he turned toward the entrance. Behind him, his fellow bikers watched in silence. They didn't need words. They knew exactly what he was about to do. As Ryder began walking toward the hospital doors, the little girl wiped her tears and clutched her teddy tighter, a flicker of hope returning to her frightened eyes. The automatic doors of St. Mary's Hospital slid open with a soft hiss as Ryder stepped inside. His heavy boots echoed against the polished floor, the sound sharp in the tense quiet of the emergency ward. 2 other Hells Angels bikers followed him. Tank, a broad-shouldered giant with a shaved head, and Miguel, whose calm demeanor masked a quick temper. Nurses froze mid-step, and even the security guards at the front desk straightened, their expressions hardening. Ryder stopped just a few feet away from the guards who had refused the little girl's mother entry. His piercing blue eyes locked onto theirs. "You turned away a woman who's hurt," he said, his voice low and steady. "Why?" The head guard, a stocky man with a badge pinned crookedly to his chest, shifted uncomfortably. "Sir, she didn't have ID. Hospital policy, no exceptions." Ryder took another step forward, his presence filling the space. "Policy," he repeated, his tone sharpening. "Policy doesn't matter when someone's bleeding outside your door." The guard hesitated, but his colleague muttered under his breath, "We don't need trouble from bikers." Ryder didn't raise his voice, but his calm words carried more power than a shout. "You think I came here for trouble? That little girl out there is crying her heart out because you decided paperwork was more important than her mother's life." The room fell silent. Nurses exchanged uneasy glances. One of them, a young woman with kind eyes, stepped forward. "I saw her," she said softly. "She's in bad shape. I told security she needed help, but they wouldn't listen." Ryder turned toward her, nodding once in quiet appreciation. Then he looked back at the guards. "You heard the nurse. Get her in, now." For a moment, no one moved. Then Tank, towering behind Ryder, crossed his arms and cracked his knuckles. The sound alone made both guards flinch. Finally, one of them sighed and pressed the intercom. "Get a gurney outside," he said reluctantly. Through the glass doors, Ryder could see the little girl's mother being gently placed onto a stretcher by two nurses. The child ran beside her, holding her hand as the team wheeled her inside. Tears of relief streamed down her face. When the mother passed by, weak but conscious, she whispered hoarsely, "Thank you." Ryder just nodded. "You're safe now, ma'am. That's what matters." As the chaos settled, the little girl ran straight to Ryder, wrapping her small arms around his leg. "You helped my mommy," she said in a trembling voice. Ryder crouched down, resting his gloved hand on her shoulder. "That's what we do, sweetheart. We take care of our own, and tonight that means you and your mom." Outside, the rumble of engines filled the night again as the Hells Angels prepared to leave. Ryder gave the girl one last smile before walking out, the hospital lights reflecting off his jacket patch. For a moment, everyone inside remained silent. The guards looked down, ashamed. And somewhere outside, the little girl's soft voice broke through the night air, whispering, "Thank you, mister." The engines roared to life, fading into the distance, not as a sound of menace, but as the echo of unexpected heroes riding away.